If you're a real estate agent and you can't stay consistent with content, this is for you. The best real estate agents, they post on social media like it's part of the job. So you can't just post things when you feel motivated, because then it's impossible to be consistent. My name is Niklas Kling. I have been uploading one video every single week for the last 14 months. So I know a few things about being consistent. So in this video, I will show you the consistency rule and the exact blueprint to stick with moving forward. So there are two main things from everything I'm seeing to why most real estate agents aren't consistent with posting on social media. First of all, like this is the biggest one. Like we treat it as it's something extra. It's something we do when we feel like it. I think that's the biggest thing. Like we don't have a system. We don't treat it like it's part of the job. And what happens is that we post things when we feel like it. We post, the success we have as agents. But the big problem here is that you are inconsistent. So that's really it. And number two, I would say that people tend as well, on top of the first one, people tend to aim too big too fast, which means that you have two camps. So camp number one is a person that posts when you feel like it. A lot of you watching right now might be in camp number one. You have spurts and bursts in your life where you are motivated. Let's say that you sell 3 apartments in a month or in a week, rather say. And then you feel like, well, I'm gonna post this, I'm gonna share it, and get likes and stuff. So, but when you have the slow weeks, no sales, like everything feels like shit, you gotta post as well. So we gotta fix this as well. If you're in camp number one, if you're in camp number two, which is like you tend to aim too big too fast. So there are a lot of people and agents that I speak with that they don't have a consistency problem in the aspect of, posting things. It's just a matter of they like post. They aim too big too fast, and it actually becomes a consistency problem because then they quit. So I know I have been there myself a couple of years ago in other things than content, so I can really relate to that. So that's why we gotta really figure out a way where we can tackle these two main problems, and that's where we're going to go in right now. And the first thing I really want to talk about, and there are a couple of things we gotta understand here, like deep talk right now. The first one is that you gotta start seeing like posting on social media like it's part of your job. And the simplest way I can explain this is that every single real estate agent have had open houses, open showings, private showings. What happens to, I hope, 99.9% of people is that after the showing, after the open house, you contact your seller and let them know how it has gone. Was it good? Thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. So you give them a short, brief, either call, text, but you kind of like follow up with your potential, or you follow up with your sellers after the open house. And like, hey, 5 people showed up. This is the vibe. I'm gonna call them tomorrow and I will let you know. So you give them, a summary or a brief after the showing. Every single agent should be doing that, and as clear that it's something you gotta do. It's part of the job. Like if you don't do it, you don't do your job. I want you to start seeing posting on social media as it's the same thing as contacting your sellers after you have had a showing. Like I want you to start having that kind of mindset, because in my eyes, if you're not posting on social media, like you are not doing your job. It's at that level. And I'm like, well, why is that? And why that's the case and whatever, right? So, and we will come to that. But the reason why I see it that way is because, social media is the best way for you as an agent to build your personal brand and over a long period of time get a lot of leads and charge a ton of money, because those leads are so hot, they won't compare with anyone else. So that's why if you're not posting on social media, on a regular basis, you're not doing your job. So we gotta do that shift. Okay, well, from now on, you understand that, well, posting on social media, it's part of the job. And if you, take a, what should I say, like if you fast forward 5 years from today, I am very certain that posting on social media, posting content, it will be a part of the job. So you better start right now and get a head start from everyone else. And the next thing I really want to talk about on top of the first thing that we just talked about, number 2, is that like you gotta understand that you're building something truly extraordinary, valuable, but it's over a long period of time. So what people tend to do, if you are in bucket number 2, as I said, like you aim too big, too fast, you want to like, I'm gonna get, like 14,000 followers in the next 2 weeks. But that's not gonna happen in an organic way. And if it happens, I can tell you that you have had a wrong strategy, because the only way to do that is going super viral, and that's not what we want to do as real estate agents. You want to have, 100% of your followers being your potential clients. That's it. No influencer things and stuff like that. You want to use social media in a way where you make as much money as possible. So that's why you gotta understand like the mindset shift that I want you to be having here. As I said, like you gotta stop thinking in days and weeks, and you gotta start thinking in years. So the best tip I really can have for you here is like start thinking like, well, okay, I'm gonna see this as a part of my job, and I'm gonna do this for the next 5 years. Because I can guarantee you, if you have that mindset, you will probably start with like, well, okay, I haven't posted content before, or you have done that. Then you're going to start in a way where you feel it's comfortable. So I think that is very important. And now I just want to straight into the blueprint, because I know your time is valuable, and I want to make sure that I give you as much valuable as possible in the shortest period of time. So now we are onto the blueprint. And stick with me here. So number 1 is, as you can see, like we gotta figure out, what minimum amounts of posts are we going to make or share on post on social media. So that's the first thing we gotta understand. And then when you figure that out, so let's say that, well, you're posting 1 post a week on Instagram, for example, and you feel like, well, I could probably do 3 posts, maybe 4 posts. Let's say we take 4 posts a week. Then I want you to pick that number, and then as you can see as number 2, I want you to cut that in half. And the simple reason why I have that as number 2 is because I really want you to understand what I said before. Like this is something you're gonna do for years. So it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And if that is the case, then you gotta pick a pace that is very comfortable in the beginning. You gotta create the habit of posting content, being out there, doing it as it's part of your job, and then over time you can level up. And as you can see, then if we're going to step number 3, always post at the same time. So why this is important is because, as I hinted before, you're going to create a habit of doing this as it's part of your job. So that's why we got to figure out a time, if we want to be consistent, where we do it every single day at the same time. So for example, if you look at, just taking me as an example here, let me see, if we have number 4, you can see that I always spend 30 minutes every single day, engaging, posting content, for example, on LinkedIn, where it's my, go-to platform, except for YouTube, and where I have long form. I spend 30 minutes every single day on LinkedIn. So I engage 10, 20 minutes before, and then I post, and then I engage for a couple of minutes after that as well. So that's why you gotta figure out to post at the same time, and you always gotta figure out to spend, the same time every single day doing just that. And if we go on to number 5, we gotta make it stupid simple. So except of all the things we have talked about just up to now, and it's not rocket science, so bear with me here. Number 5 is that we're going to pick one platform, we're gonna pick one format, and we're gonna have one audience. And if you think this is me speaking Chinese, I will make it easier for you. So what this really means is that we gotta pick one platform, which means one social media platform. It's Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, whatever. And my best tip for you is here, think out, well, what platform, social media platform, am I spending the most time on? Do I have a favorite social media platform? And I think most of you watching right now, I do believe you have one. So then pick that one. So if it's TikTok, if it's Twitter or X, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook even, pick that one. Of course, if you would ask me like, well, Nicholas, like I'm open, I want the best platform for the best results, then I would highly encourage you to choose Instagram. But as I said before, that's if you want to, go the extra mile. But if you don't feel comfortable, pick another one. Just pick one that you feel and you are comfortable on. And then we're gonna focus on one format. So in the beginning, as I said, like you have, for example, on Instagram, you have stories, you have reels, you have normal posts, you have lives, you have a lot of things to be doing. And in the beginning, if you're in the camp number 2, you aim too big too fast. So you're like, I'm gonna post 1 post a day, I'm gonna post 5 stories a day, I'm gonna do 2 reels, like you're going absolutely nuts. So that's why you gotta pick one format. So pick one that you're comfortable with. Like I'm not gonna give you any suggestions here because the main goal for this video is to make sure that you're consistent. It's not about getting the absolute best results out there. It's about being consistent, because I'm gonna make another video where I show you how I can get the best results. And then one audience. And this one I really like because this is something you're only going to focus on, from now on, moving forward to the last day of your career. And what I mean by one audience, it's very simple. We want to leverage social media and doing every step, as I said, just to target your potential clients. So give you an example here. You could be using Instagram. That's one platform. You could be posting, reels, if that's what you like. And then you post those things for your potential clients. That's it. And then we go on to step number 6. And this is a really golden nugget that I want to share because it has really made sure that I'm insanely consistent on YouTube. So as you can see, I'm sitting here right now recording this video. I've done it every single week at roughly the same time. So as you can see here, for me, I spend Saturdays after lunch posting content or making content, if I want to be 100% clear and honest, or correct, rather say. Yes, so that's why I think you gotta batch once a week. So if you are a person that your hectic life, I've heard every single excuse, make sure that you book a meeting with yourself at the same time every single week. Because as for myself, from 12 to 14 every single Saturday, I don't schedule anything else in that time. Because it's very simple. During that time, every single week, I have a meeting with myself. And the purpose of that meeting is to record my long form content. So I really want you to take this as a great example, because I can already think out now that a lot of you watching right now, might say like, well, Nicholas, it's easy to say, spend 30 minutes every single day at the same time, but I have X, Y, and Z reason. And if you are a person like that, this is your solution. So once a week, book a meeting with yourself, 90 minutes, make all the content for the next coming week during that period of time, or even 60 minutes if that is what you got. So you got to look back, how many times do I want to post a week, cut it in half, and then you find time in the week to, make that content happen. And then we're going to jump on to number 7. And this is a very simple thing as well, because what is going to happen when you start seeing this as a part of your job is that you're going to come up with ideas on the go. So let's say you walk to a client meeting, you have a 10-minute scroll, you start, like I could post about this and this and this. So that's why you got to create a list with ideas on your phone. So I have, picking my iPhone, I just have in my notes app, I have a list of ideas. So when I come up with something on the run, I put it in the notes app and I have it moving forward. So I think it's very nice, and especially in the beginning, you just want to make things as simple as possible for yourself. Meaning, if you have a bank with list of ideas, it's gonna be super simple when you sit down each week at the same time and you want to create stuff. Then you have a lot of ideas to start working on. Next one, we have number 8, and this is very, very, very important as well. Because if you want to be consistent, you gotta make sure that you do everything you can to not quit. So the game you're playing moving forward is seeing it as part of your job, and you should not give a damn about likes, comment, and views in the beginning. So you gotta start measure your success in the amount of weeks where you post as you should. So the simplest way for me to explain this is that, as I said in the intro, so I have uploaded one video every single week for the last 14 months here on YouTube. And I've posted roughly 3 posts a week for 1.5 years on LinkedIn. So if I just look at that, and when I look at myself in the mirror, when I say those things, I see myself as a freaking winner. And it's something I want you to start to look at yourself and, say those words as well when you are consistent. Because of course I want to have more views on my YouTube videos and I want to have more likes on LinkedIn and whatever. But I have trained myself to focus on what really matters and what's in 100% in your control. And me being honest here, like I cannot, dictate or decide how many views this YouTube video is going to get, how many likes my next Instagram post is going to get, or LinkedIn post or whatever. I cannot, choose how many comments I will get, right? So you get the point. So that's why if I want to be as successful as I can, and you want to be as successful as you can, we gotta focus on the things that you are in 100% in control in. So as you can see here, just focus on if you are doing what you're supposed to do, the results will come. Because if you really think about it, like let's say that you're going to post 2 posts a week on Instagram for the next 5 years. Like, do you honestly believe that you are not going to have a bigger personal brand 5 years from right now? Of course you're gonna have more likes, you're gonna have more followers, you're gonna have a stronger personal brand than you have today, right? So it's just a matter of time. If you stick with the things you're supposed to do, it's just a matter of time. Like, mark my words. I'm gonna sit here, make 1 YouTube video a week for the next 10 years. And it's a matter of if it takes me 1 year or 5 years to get the success I want, but I'm gonna keep doing what I'm supposed to do anyways. And we are number 9, level up slowly. So I think this is very important as well, because especially, as I said, if you are in bucket number 2, you aim too big too fast. So that's why I wanted to slow things down and then level up slowly. So as I said, like, you gotta see this as a long marathon. It's something you're gonna do for a long period of time, for many years. So that's why you gotta level up slowly. So if you're thinking, well, Niklas, could you give me some kind of more context? And I can give you that. So if I would start from scratch, I would pick Instagram, for example, to build my personal brand. I would probably post 2 times a week in the beginning, just get a hang of it. How do I feel? Does it work for the life I have? And then I would commit to post 2 times a week for 6 months or 3 months at least. And then I would feel like, well, this is super simple. I can, make 2 posts, I have a nice life, I have a lot of time over. Well, after 3 months, what I will do then, I will step it up. So I'll go from 2 to 3, and I will do it for 3 months, and then I'll go from 3 to 4, etc. So that's really what I would do. And yeah, as I said, like, you gotta do it slowly, because if you post 2 times a week and then you feel like after 2 weeks, like, this is super easy, I'm gonna go from 2 to 7. So I'm gonna post every single day. And then you will be like, whoa, my life is crap, I don't have the time, and you quit. So the game you're really playing here is a game of not quitting. And the last one for today, let me see. And the last one for today, we have really talked about it before. Commit to doing this for the rest of your career. Like, that's the problem. If there's one thing you take away from this video, it's seeing this as a part of your job and seeing this as something you will do for the rest of your career. And I know that for some people it might be a very big ask, and like, well, oof, I don't have the time like doing this for the rest of my career, right? What a big ask. But if you really think about it, like, it's just you being comfortable and creating a new habit. As if when you were a new real estate agent, it was something new for you to call, your clients after open house. Like, that was something you did not do before. And as this job evolves, we cannot doing the same old things the way we did before. Because honestly, like, if you don't commit to doing this, 2-3 years from now, you're going to be left behind. So that's why I'm dedicating all my life into, or rather say all the free time I have, to creating videos like this, giving as much value as possible, because I am 1000% sure that the people in the coming years, the ones with the strongest personal brands, will be the most successful. And now, don't forget to watch this video where you learn what I would do if I would start over as a real estate agent today, to get as much success as possible in the fastest period of time.